Today we took the brand new BlowVac BackLift 8200 into a mineral plant. My name is Wieland and I would like to show you today the BlowVac BackLift in a tough industrial environment. Some time ago I showed you the BlowVac BackLift 10,000, that is the unit with a big hydraulic suction boom. There's a separate video for this. If you like, you can take a look again at this video. But today we are going to show you the 8200 version of the BlowVac BackLift. That is a unit which is equipped here with a blowing discharge device so that the customer can discharge the suction material with a blowing device into a silo. What we are going to do today is to show you the suction work inside the building, how to extract large amounts of minerals, and of course the backlift function, how to discharge the suction material into a large container or alternatively directly onto a big truck. The customer asked us to extract this large heap of minerals which you can see behind me. Manuel will do this in a second. We have already put down a suction line in DN100. Manuel, let's go. The job is done. Manuel has taken away that heap of material inside. The next step will be to drive the truck to the container and to discharge the suction material. The task is now to discharge the suction material into this 40 cubic meter container, and how this is being done we will show you now. This is again the BlowVac BackLift 8200. 8200 because we have a maximum airflow of 8200 cubic meters per hour. That's the maximum airflow of the vacuum pump. And the vacuum of the vacuum pump is limited to 800 millibar, 80% of vacuum. We do this in order not to have a risk of overheating the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump is here in the front part of the unit. It is driven by the truck engine, so we do not need a separate diesel engine. With a split shaft gearbox and the truck engine, we can actually drive the vacuum pump. You have here now a view inside the main part of the vacuum pump. You can see the vacuum pump a little bit in the middle. It's not so good to see because of all the tubes around it. These are mainly silencers in order to get the noise level down. At the top, behind the flap, is the safety cartridge filter with a filter surface of 40 square meters. The safety filter is required because the main filter, which is in the container, could have, due to wear, a hole, and then fine dust would go into the vacuum pump. We must not allow this, so we always have a safety filter at our units to prevent fine dust from going into the vacuum pump. This is the main control box of the unit in order to switch on and off the vacuum pump, in order to increase and decrease the RPM of the vacuum pump, and also for the hydraulic functions in order to tilt the container, to empty out the container. And we have here the possibility to connect a cable remote control. As an option, there exists also the possibility to equip the unit with a radio remote control. This unit is not equipped with that, but of course that's possible. What you can see here is the connection for the blowing device. In order to blow material, for example, into a silo, we need compressed air at the rear side of the truck. The compressed air comes actually from our vacuum pump, which we use then as a compressor, and we need here a hose to get the compressed air to the blowing device at the rear of the truck. This is an inspection opening in order to be able to inspect the main filter. We can look from here in between the pockets of the main filter, and of course we can also clean the whole container. For this, the container would be in a slighted tipped position. Then we open here and we can spray water into the container. The water with the dirt goes out through the rear. That's a very good way to clean the container. This here, of course, is the main connection, the suction inlet, DN200, 200 millimeters or 8-inch. We can actually work with 8-inch hoses. Usually this is not done because it's too tiring for the operators. Usually we work with either 150 or 125 millimeters. Today, you may have seen, we only had a 100 millimeter hose, so actually it's possible to work much faster with the unit than what you see on the video. This here is quite practical, quite useful. We can close here very easily, so we have here a storage area for flexible hoses. You can already get quite a few flexible hoses here on the truck at a very good loading height. The hydraulic functions for the container once again are also here, so that you can actually activate all hydraulic functions from the rear side of the truck, which is a good thing, of course, because when you discharge you need to be here near the discharge operation. We have here a view on the blowing device. This has been reworked, redesigned quite a number of times, and we now have really a very, very good blowing performance, not only in order to fill silos, also, for example, to get gravel onto roofs. That's a job which is frequently done with this type of unit. What you can see here are the tubes and hoses in order to get the suction power to the main filter, to the container. You may have seen that during the discharge operation, there's always a connection between the vacuum pump and the container, no matter the position of the container. That means that also in the top position, in a high position of the container, we can actually do suction work. We can do suction work in any position of the container. This is very useful because when we want to discharge near the area where we are actually working, when the container is near the area where the material is, then the container can remain in the top position, in the highest position during suction work, so that you do not lose any time for lowering and lifting the container. This is really very important and very practical. And here, once again, a view into the main compartment of the vacuum pump. You can see here now quite good the vacuum pump in the middle. You can see the belt drive. You can see the other flap of the safety filter. So the safety filter cartridges can be taken out from both sides. That means we have two 20 square meter cartridges here inside. And of course, there's also some storage area for tools or other things here. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for looking into VacNews. I hope this was useful for you, and we will see you again at the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.